Hello everyone. Today is Saturday, March the 7th, 2026, and I have not done a video in quite a while. So I'm here. I'm not going to say I'm back because I don't know when it'll be again, but anyway, if you're new, my name is Shelly, and this is my channel, The Serenity Stitcher. Used to be Proverbs 31:22. I almost said that. And this is where I share my stitching and crafting. I am a Louisiana native who now lives in the northwest corner of Alabama in an area called the Shoals. I do have a slow stitching group that meets the first Saturday of every month in Florence, Alabama. And so if you're anywhere in this area and you want to come by, we meet from 10 to 2 at Calico Rose Quilt Shop on Darby Drive in Florence. So normally my routine is to film when I get back from that meeting because I kind of have all of my stuff gathered up. But the last few months, it's not falling on the right way. So I go every other week to get massages, and used to do them on Friday, but now I work on Fridays again, and so I can't do Fridays, so I'll go on Saturdays. And it's just been falling that my massage happens after our meeting, and so when I get back from that, I don't feel like doing the whole taking a shower and all of that to do my hair again, blah blah blah. Plus I'm just I just want to chill, take a nap. So today I did not have a massage, and so I figured I would come on here and do a video. So life update, nothing really different, still working, come home, stitch, still struggling with grief, and so it gets you just get to where you're tired of carrying it, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I felt like I was doing pretty good, and then I had a dream about a month and a half ago that I woke up sobbing, and so it just was like it was a dream about the future that I wish I was going to have, and it seemed like so real. And then in the dream, it got taken away just like it did in real life. And so, yeah, it sucks. So anyway, I'm just trying to just get through each day the best I can. So I'm thankful for friends that are there to support me, family. Yeah. So otherwise, not really a whole lot to update you guys on. So I'm gonna go gather my stuff and come back and show you what I've been stitching on. I have to figure out what I haven't shown you. It's been a little while since I filmed, so I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so my last video was November the 1st, so wow. So this is FlossTube 146. So I've got a lot of stuff to show you guys, and it's kind of going to be all over the place because, yeah, it's been, so all of November, all of December, all of January, so 4 months I haven't updated y'all. So, let's see. So I've been working on this Mill Hill kit pretty much just at lunch during work time, and I don't have a whole lot of time to stitch at lunch, so I hardly get any stitches in. And then I made a mistake somewhere, and so I had to frog, and so it's not a whole lot of progress, but I did start putting, start putting some beads in. I don't know if you can see that right there, but those are beads right there. So I had done the blue all the way to up here, and I was off, so I had to rip it all out. So, but I've gotten some done on that, not a whole lot. I also did some stitching on Fat Quarter Shop's Mistletoe Lane, and I don't remember where it was when I showed it to y'all before. I just stitched some on it in November. Just got some more stuff, some more stitches in on the house. And I am gonna try to put these things back in the bags as I go. I'm sorry. So, I started Botanical Garden from Mirabilia for my birthday in November. And I stitched on her quite a while. I actually did 16 days in November, plus I did, you know, some in December and January also, I believe. So this is my progress on her, and I think she's absolutely gorgeous. So I did start with, I think it's called Touch of Pink linen, which was the called for, but I went in and overdyed it with some purple and some gray. And OMG, I love her. Love her. Let me check something real quick. I've still been stitching on Nature's Journey. This is from Just Cross Stitch magazine. It was a 4-part series last year, and I've gotten spring and summer done, and I've started working on fall, autumn. I didn't stitch a whole lot on this. I only stitched one day in February. Usually I stitch on it on Sundays. It's kind of like every Sunday I want to stitch on it so I can keep progress going on it. But and I'll show you some pictures. I don't have actually any finished pieces that I did, but I started crocheting. So one of my coworkers is having just had her first grandbaby born. And she came up to me one day and she said, I think my grandbaby's going to need some booties so her feet don't get cold. And so she's like, do you think you could do that? And so I went online and found some of the cutest little baby booties and baby mittens. And so I made a pair of those for her. And then one of my coworkers, him and his wife are expecting a baby, and one of my other coworkers said, I really want you to make some of those for him and his wife. And so I made another pair of booties and mittens, and then I made another pair of booties for the first child that I made booties for. And then I started doing scarves. So I do have part of the scarf done I can show you today, but the rest of it I'll just have to insert pictures. And I'll go ahead and do that here. I actually didn't get a photograph of the mittens, and I didn't get a photograph of the second set that I made. The second set of booties and mittens that I made for my coworker to give away. Yeah, they are the cutest thing ever. But anyway, that's really taken a lot of my stitching time. And so I only stitched on this one day in February. And so I've kind of, slowed down the progress. So this just tells you an example. So in January, I think I had like 8,500 stitches or something that I got cross-stitched. And then in February, which I know it's a shorter month, but still, I only got a little over 2,000 stitches. So yeah, I haven't been cross-stitching as much as I was before because I've been crocheting. But anyway, this is on a 46 count linen. I'm using DMC flosses. And the whole time I was stitching this, I kept looking at it and going, I have no idea. What is that? What is that? Is it a leaf? Is it a, I just had no idea what it was. And then when I got done at the end of the month, and I take pictures for an album I have on Facebook for my yearly stitching recaps. And I took a picture of it and was like, oh, it's a bird, a bird head. It was like, I just could not see it until I looked at it through, a photograph. It's so pretty, but it's very slow going because I'm doing it on 46 count. So, and I don't remember if I had started these at my last video. I think maybe I had, but this is Halloween Pretties from Tiny Modernist. I don't normally stitch Halloween stuff, but I thought these were just too cute. It has a very Victorian theme to it. It has a Victorian house in one of them. A Victorian boot is going to go at the bottom of this one. And I love the gray fabric with the pink flosses. So it's, they were just too cute, funny to resist. So, yeah. Love those. And I've still been stitching on my Christmas pieces on Mondays. This is a piece by Veronique Angenier. I don't know how you say her name. I grew up in South Louisiana. My mama didn't speak English until she was 16, but I don't know jack squat about French. So they did not pass it on to us, unfortunately. So, yeah, this is very slow going. There's a lot of thread changes in the leaves and stuff, but it is just so cute. So cute. So, before I was alternating, like, I have 2 Christmas pieces that I kind of was alternating every week. And I don't know, in January I just figured I'd change it up, and so I started devoting a whole month of Mondays to one of them, and then the next month I swapped to the different one. So the other one that I'm working on is Shannon Christine. This is the 12 Days of Christmas from 2022, I believe. These things take forever to stitch. So I'm currently working on number 9. And I still have so much to stitch. So these are on a 28 count Cashel linen with the DMC flosses. I am using Petite Treasure Braid instead of Chronic, and I'm doing Treasure Braid instead of beads in some places. So these were, she, finished them. They're meant to be finished as ornaments. But number 1, I don't have a tree. And number 2, I don't know if I'm going to have a tree. Number 3, I think they're a little large to be ornaments. So I've decided that I am going to do a wall hanging, a quilted wall hanging with them when they're done, So, let me pull it down and show you the rest of them. I still have to go back. I had started putting the beads, and I went back and took it out, so I still have to go in and put the treasure braid in those places. The beads was just too, it was too dense for beads. Maybe if I'd had some smaller ones, but I was using what they called for, so. And then I did start and finish this in December. I haven't stuffed it, but I just felt like a real quick little Christmas piece to do. And so, this was from a Just Cross Stitch magazine. And that's just some Ada that I had hand dyed. All stuff from my stash. Okay. I have put some stitches in my mindfulness mandala. This is from, I think it's the World of Cross Stitching magazine. And it is pretty much a full coverage, except for that very middle part. But I have started putting the beads, and I'm going to do that as I go. I stitch in hand, and so I don't have to worry about crushing beads with hoops or anything like that. A lot of stitches in this, so, but it's going to be really, really pretty. I stitched some on Teresa Koget's In Command. So I will say I do not care for her patterns, like just the quality of them. I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, they're not, like, you don't have the grid's not numbered. I don't think they have an overlap. So I had it on my iPad in GoodNotes. I was doing it that way, and started stitching, and I was like, I got off, and I couldn't tell if what I was doing was right or wrong. And so I did spend a good bit of time uploading. It's a pattern keeper. Of course, it was, a photograph, and so it's not easy to do it in Pattern Keeper, to get it in there and get the grid correct. But I finally did, and so a lot of my time was spent doing that. But I did get more of the dress done. I started on the wings, and I've got part of her neck completed. This is a Be Stitch Me fabric that is called Evil Queen, which is gorgeous. I don't like stitching on it as much as I like some other ones, but it is very beautiful. And I'm just using the Call for DMC flosses. I think this is a 36 count. And honestly, a lot of these pieces, like, I kind of just want to, almost want to become a monogamous stitcher again on some of them, because I love working on them, and I really would like to see them finished. So, but I don't think that's going to actually happen. This is another full coverage piece. This is Mini Hydrangea Garden Gate from Artisy. And it's coming along. So pretty. My biggest thing with full coverage is not knowing, trying to decide where I'm going to take this thread, and am I going to do this color now? I'm going to keep going with the same color. It's kind of mind-boggling to me. And I know there's methods of doing, certain things certain ways, but I've tried them all, and I don't know. I haven't found a groove with it yet. But I still love stitching on that. I stitched some on Sampler Hope. I love this piece. This is from Stitches Through the Years. And I believe this is a 40 count XJU, either 40 or 36. And I'm using a variety of overdyed flosses. I've got some more done on the lettering. I believe I got that whole line right there done since the last time you had seen it. And then I started stitching on this urn and flowers down here at the bottom. This is really close to being done. I just have the flowers on the bottom part of the border. Actually, there's no flowers, so just the hearts and the rest of the little filigree around them. And then just those things at the bottom. And of course, the letters are over one, so they don't go very fast. But this is another piece that I could just stitch on it and stitch on it and stitch on it because it's just beautiful. So pretty. And I stitched some on this little sampler from Hands Across the Sea. I am doing Whip Go again this year, and I believe this was a Whip Go call for last month. So this is Annie Morris, and this is I think this is Russian tea cake linen, and I'm using the call for Au Versoir 103s. It's it's a nice little sampler if you want to experiment or experience stitching with silks and you don't want to, break the bank. There's only 5 colors in that sampler, so it's pretty affordable to get the silks to do that one. I'm trying to get 1,500 stitches a month into this piece. Working on it the first weekend and the third weekend of each month since the beginning of the year. But last month I didn't work on it really at all because I was crocheting. But this is Intricate Intimate Romance. This is based on artwork by the Revivalist, and it's charted by Stitches So Beautiful. And so I actually am working on this piece this weekend. So this is on a 20 count even weave, 1 strand full cross. And once again, I never can decide, okay, am I just going to go ahead and fill this in, or am I going to try to do more colors going across? And so I've kind of done a little bit of both. So when I've started this pattern the first time on different fabric that I didn't like stitching on, I started it sort of in the middle so that I could get to the guy's lips. And then when I restarted it, I went ahead and started up in a corner. But I still want to get over to his lips. So this is the outline of his hair, and then it's going down into this is the lady's face right here. And so, yeah. Lots of stitches in this. I did go all the way to the bottom so that I could cut the fabric. And I'm kind of thinking about, I've already cut this, but I'm kind of thinking about, I want to get to this edge. So, and the needle's still in there. Make sure I don't lose that. It's one of my pony needles, which I love, and they're not the cheapest needles, and I can't find, I can't like go to Hobby Lobby and get them. Forgot to grab a piece that was in my list. And I've gotten this block finished on collecting colors, and then this block started. This is a freebie from Aurifil. It's charted in Aurifloss designed by Susan Aki, but I'm using DMCs and just sort of picking my own colors. I kind of use them as a springboard and then, change stuff up if I want to, or I don't enjoy stitching on this. For some reason, I don't like stitching quilts, even though I love to make quilts and I love quilts. I don't like cross-stitching them, so, but this is something that I started when I first came back to stitching, honestly, probably 2020, so it needs to get finished. Okay, let me see what the next month brings. Okay, almost done with cross stitch. This is triple play pillows from Hands On Design, the autumn basket. And this is another thing that's, thought I would like stitching quilts, and I found out that I don't. But these are so pretty, and I have all 4 seasons, and I have the whole kits to make them. Not the cross-stitch fabric, but the finishing kits. So I did get some stitches in on that last month. And that's a 40 count. I think it's Cafe Olay. So I have several little jewelry case stitching boxes, just cheap jewelry cases from either Target or Amazon. I have several of them, and kind of go back and forth. Okay, I want to do them seasons, and then maybe I could do one for different types of crafts, and so a combination of both is what I'm probably going to do. But I do have one that I started dedicated to my hand quilting supplies. The bag that I had was using, it was just too big and it wasn't really working. And so after I finished my daughter's quilt, I decided to put it in something different. So I came across this patchwork alphabet in a magazine. I access my magazines through Readly app, and so I don't remember if it's Cross Stitcher magazine or World of Cross Stitching. I know it's not just cross stitch, but one of those, they always have an alphabet every month with different themes, and this one was patchwork. And so I didn't chart it, I just put it in GoodNotes and cropped it so that I could line up the letters. So I lined it up to do hand and then quilt, but I think I'm probably just going to end up doing quilt because it's a lot. But I did get done with the T. I kind of changed up colors, so the outline was supposed to be in black, and there's not an outline around the outside of the blocks, but since I'm butting them up against one another to try to fit them on this case, I figured that I would do an outline backstitch around it. Some of the blocks, some of the letters in this pattern are more heavy toward oranges and reds and yellows, and those were not really my colors. And so, and the box is really almost the color of this fabric, which is from Handmade at number 12, by the way. This is a 32 count. It was part of a Valentine package with 3 different fabrics in it that I got several years ago. So I doubt you could, still find it, but just using DMC flosses. But anyway, when things called for, I don't mind some yellow. You can tell there's some yellow in this around the squares in the corner. But like some of them are just, it's all yellow and orange and red, and I don't want that. So if it had that in that letters block, then I recharted it, with pinks and purples and blues and greens. Is that it? Okay, that's it for cross stitch. 3 months of 4 December, January, 3 months. 3 months plus a week. So I have worked some on my, this is Corey Yoder's A Very Coriander Christmas is the book. Hang on. I didn't really need that to be like that, but anyway. Um, this is the quilt. I'm calling it a cozy Christmas. um, but I finally finished the 12th block. So these are not all the blocks. You know, my design wall is not big enough. Let's see the other ones that I do have hanging up there. So now I have to cut the fabric for the sashing, which is, you know, it's very intricate sashing on this quilt. By the way, she is an absolute genius at designing quilts, but you know, it's not an easy sashing. So there's going to be a lot of pieces to cut. So I'm currently in my craft room, of course, filming, and it goes in between being really organized and being really messy, which I'm sure y'all all know how that is. Currently, it's sort of in the middle. I'm getting some things organized. I got some things kind of changed around a while back, and so I'm just kind of getting things going there. I did get a new tiered cart to put my watercolor painting stuff in. And so anyway, my cutting table is pretty not too bad. Now I have all of my stuff from filming today, but I'm going to put all of that away. But I do have some other little bitty things that just need to be put away so that I can actually get there and cut some things out. So it's kind of at a standstill. Like I had picked out, or written out, planned out, you know, what I wanted to try to accomplish each day or every other day. And, you know, I'm not one of those that, you know, I'm not going to do it if I can't completely finish it. I'm I'm okay with doing little bitty chunks, little bitty bites. So if I only have 15 minutes when I get home from work to sew on something or work on something, that 15 minutes is fine with me. Like that means I'm making some progress. It might not be as much as what I would want it to be, but at least it's making progress. It's not waiting until, okay, I have 5 hours so I can finish this, you know? That just is not realistic. So I worked on that and finished that last block. I've been working on this table runner, hand quilting this table runner. So this was from a sew sampler box, which I subscribed to for probably 2 years from Fat Quarter Shop. And that's where the fabric is from, and the pattern was from there. So I had started quilting it with white, white kind of, I don't remember what weight it was, but it was much thicker than this. This is Aurifil 12 weight in red. And so I hadn't gotten a whole lot done, but I did rip out the white because I just didn't like the way it was coming out, and changed to that. So I've gotten a good bit done. It's something that, you know, you don't have to have a pattern. You don't have to follow a pattern, so it's pretty mindless. If there's something that I feel like I'm watching and I need to pay closer attention, you know, to what I'm watching, then I'll do, you know, something like this instead of something that I have to follow a pattern. I have done a little bit of diamond painting, but not anything that's finished to show you guys. I did do I was planning on doing watercolor stuff for my family for Christmas. So I did work on some, but I didn't finish. I didn't finish them all, so I decided to, you know, just not do them, not give them away yet. But let's see if I can do this, you guys. This is hard. So that deer right there I was going to give to my son-in-law, and then I started on that cat. I didn't really like the way it was coming out, so I'm probably going to scrap that one. But that white cart right there, that's where I'm putting my watercolor stuff in. I started working on that hydrangea one that's on top there. I'll show you that in a second. And I did finally frame my bluebird. I framed my bluebird that I had painted a while back, and I just, like, I have a goal. I think I had a goal last year that I was going to try to fully finish some cross stitch pieces every single month, and that didn't happen. I have a goal again this year, and it hasn't happened in either January or February. Um, the main thing, well, I can't say that because I wasn't working at my job the year before, but definitely now I'm working more hours. So I'm probably working 8 more hours a week. And so, man, I really hate not having Fridays off. That I was so spoiled for that. But anyway, I really want to finish some things, like fully finish some things and be able to have them on display. Like I was looking at my on the back of my closet door, right there. I have my finished cross stitch pieces hanging on, like, pants racks, pants hangers. And I finished my Winter Rose Manor last year, and it's just so pretty. And I'm like, you have to get this framed. Like, I know that some people had finished it on a certain piece that they had at Hobby Lobby, and I was planning on doing that, but I really feel like it needs to be framed. It came out really pretty, and it's just gorgeous, and so I really feel like I want it framed. Um, so hang on, I'm going to show you. Hang on. So this is the hydrangea watercolor that I started working on. Um, when I was working on the little kitty, I felt like I was pretty limited. I had a set of watercolor paints that I had gotten from Temu, and they're fine. They're pearlescent, but I didn't have a whole lot of colors, and so I went on Amazon and got one. I think it probably has 50 colors, I guess, in it, and so I mean, I'm not an artist or anything, and of course, I'm glad that I don't have to draw these things. They're already drawn. Um, but, I enjoy doing it, so I really would like to do this for presents this year. Of course, now I'm working on scarves and beanies. Speaking of scarves, I didn't show you that. But anyway. Okay, so anyway, that's what I've been stitching on the last 3 months. So I'm going to get off of here and go stitch. We're expecting some bad weather, and so I'm going to go stitch and watch some TV. I did watch the season 4 of Bridgerton. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, especially the Violet story. Um, because I'm older and I'm single, and it just was, it was neat to dream that could, that could happen, that you could find someone at an older age. Anyway, I really I liked season 4. I think was it season 4? What season is this? Whatever the season is with Benedict and Sophie. I liked the season with Anthony and Kate. I think that's my favorite one so far. What else? Started watching The Lincoln Lawyer. Had to go back to the beginning because I haven't had Netflix in a while, and so I didn't remember what had happened, and I wanted to watch the new season. watching Will Trent, which I absolutely love that show. If you haven't watched Will Trent, please watch Will Trent. Man, it's so good. Started watching Paradise on Hulu. The new season started of that, and oh my goodness. That, I think it was the second episode, was had some of the most powerful scenes that I've seen, and I don't know how long. Like, seriously, there's a scene in there where the girl that has been living at Graceland, her and the guy that comes through, man, it was really, really powerful. Emotionally powerful. Watching basketball still, including the Celtics. Was very upset that Jason Tatum came back for the season yesterday, and even though I have NBA League Pass on Prime, I still couldn't watch the freaking game. So I was upset about that because he is my favorite player. He's the reason why I started watching basketball again after 20 something years of not watching. And he's been out with an Achilles tear, and I couldn't watch it. So I was not happy. Especially when I'm paying for League Pass. It's like if you don't have a regular like cable type, either direct TV or YouTube TV, you can't watch certain things even though you have League Pass. So, first world problems, right? I'll include a picture of the scarf that I've started working on right here. And now I will let you go. I don't know how long this is going to end up being, but probably longer than what you want it to endure having to hear me talk. But anyway, been missing you guys, and I'm glad that I was able to come and share with you today. And yeah, I hope you have lots of stitching time in your future, and everybody stays safe and well. Thanks, guys. Bye.